Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey guys, just wanted to give a quick update on what's going on with the podcast and make a few announcements. If it sounds a little funny, that's because I'm recording someplace I normally don't record. Sorry there were no shows last week. My oldest daughter moved out to her dorm. It was my wedding anniversary. I was having back problems, and the life was already scheduled to be off that week. This week I was going to have Adrian Miller and a couple of other members of the 42nd City Improv group on. Hopefully I can have them back in a month or two. I had to cancel because just a few hours before we were set to record, my wife and daughter were in a car accident. They were going to visit my oldest daughter at college, and a farmer hit them in a grain truck when he decided to back down the street on a hill. So that's what's up with all of that. With that said, next week on the podcast, I will be doing something that I've wanted to do for a while now. I'm going to have a priest or minister, or I'm not really sure what they're called, a holy man on to bless the show and lift the curse. So I'm really looking forward to that. The guy's also a comedian too, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe because that's going to be a good show. This week on The Life, we're going to have a good show for you there too. Christina Hughes, a former Miss America contestant, actress, and comedian, will be on the show, and she's going to be making an announcement. Speaking of announcements, this week I was going to introduce a new segment by the podcast's newest contributor. His name is Choo Choo Stu. He's from the UK. He's going to be doing a segment called Totally From UK Today, aka Totally Fucked, where he goes over a weird story from there, and I want to apologize to him for having to delay that. We will have that on the very next episode. September is going to be a great month for the show. I'll have new segments for you guys, and have a lot of guests already booked. Pretty much the entire month is already filled. In addition to the Blessing episode next week, we will have Kenny Bolin coming back for our best show yet. Mike Canistero will be coming onto the show. It'll be his first appearance on the podcast. It will be uncensored, so he can say all the stuff that he couldn't say on the radio. And, of course, Mama Kate will be here, too. I want to give a shout-out to a couple of people on Twitter. Thanks to @Afterburn739 for letting me know the iTunes link on the website was broken, and for tweeting about the show. They do a podcast in Cleveland, Ohio. It's called Afterburn739. Check it out. And I also want to thank @WDYMMWT Podcast for being my 1,000th Twitter follower. WDYMMWT stands for Why Did You Make Me Watch This? Check out their podcast too. While you're checking out new things, go over to WeDon'tHaveCookies.com. I've completely redesigned the website. I really like it. You can hear more shows there now. See the bios of people involved with the show. I put a page that lists free things that you can do to help out the show that won't take more than a couple of seconds on your part, and all the contact information for the podcast and radio shows there too. If you want to contact the show, you can send an email to jason@WeDon'tHaveCookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail. I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you're looking forward to September as much as I am. Please spread the word, tell people about the show, and make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
He's a farmer. He backed that grain truck right on up.